I love him.
Why?
Yeah, just because he gave me my opportunity. I wouldn't even be here, babe.
Have you ever had any kind of an issue with Eminem?
No, never with him.
Never with him, yeah.
Because he's done everything for me.
What becomes of hip-hop's most paranoid survivor? Get to know his biggest star.
I have a very clear memory of the first time I met 50. One of the things I noticed when he first walked into the room was his presence, right? Because it just kind of felt like he's gonna be a star.
And having recently been shot 9 times and blackballed by the industry.
Why did the guy shoot you 9 times? Was it drugs or something?
He was paid to do it.
50 Cent flew to Los Angeles too. Meet Eminem. One feared betrayal, the other promised fellowship. The ensuing historic encounter would spark the beginning of an empire.
Did you ever run into situations where people attempted to blackball you during your career and you ran into and they exposed who done it?
By the time 2000 dawned, 50 Cent's life appeared like a battlefield. 3 years earlier, 50 Cent had been shot 9 times outside his grandmother's house in Southside Jamaica, Queens. And he lived long enough to tell Albertine.
Karma. Explain to me again why this guy was hired to shoot you 9 times.
Well, you was paid because someone, felt like that I would potentially do something to them if they kept going in the direction that they were going.
Man, you are tough.
Furthermore, despite the fact that 50 Cent lived to tell the story, the music industry treated him as though he were radioactive. Radio stations refused to broadcast his songs, Columbia records severed links, and promoters shunned him. Meanwhile, the members of Murder Inc. and his rival Yahoo were actively pursuing him. During a 2000 recording session at the Hit Factory, they allegedly had Black Child stab him.
The story was that Black Child stabbed him?
Well, that could be the story. I don't like to talk like that, Vlad. But a lot of things happen when them lights went out.
What?
I got hit with a speaker. 50 through the speaker. I got hit with a speaker.
Despite all of these failures, 50 Cent continued to work and stay out of the spotlight. There in Canada, he paused and decided to start over. He also had to cope with the paranoia that followed his near-death experience. While attempting to resume his profession, this is where the well-known bulletproof comes in. 50 didn't want to be seen sliding for the second time after witnessing the deaths of well-known rappers like Biggie and Tupac.
You wear a bulletproof vest now most of the time, I believe.
Yeah, in the States, just because I've been shot myself, and I've seen Tupac and Biggie Small situation where all their wounds were inflicted in areas that would have prevented their death if they had.
Yeah, because it's mainly the body shots here.
In contrast, Eminem was at the pinnacle of his success in Detroit. The Marshall Mathers LP sold about 2 million copies in its first week of release. But instead of relaxing, he kept listening to mixtapes by unknown artists in an effort to find someone new and different. He was immediately enamored by 50 Cent's mixtape, Guess Who's Returning.
You got in the business with Eminem, right? Did he discover you or something?
Yeah, Eminem, he had got his hands on a copy of a mixtape that I put out through my attorneys, Theo Stedemeyer. Paul Rosenberg is Eminem's representation, and they have a relationship, so that's how he got the CD.
Soon after, 50 got an invitation to Los Angeles. In addition to being a significant risk, it was also a huge deal. At the time, LA wasn't exactly a secure place for him because of the continued animosity between him and other industry people. Nevertheless, 50 went. He removed the ceramic shot plate from the bulletproof vest he had worn since he was shot, so that metal detectors wouldn't pick it up.
I was so bugged out from the experience that I came through the airport with the vest. I'm lucky I took the shot plate out the front of the joint, because when I came through, it didn't, but the lawyer that I had with me, they took me to him.
They finally met in person, and 50 was a little surprised when Eminem embraced him. There were no long or theatrical comments, just a moment of true respect into 50. That had some significance, pursuing everything being shot, being brushed aside by his label, and being hunted down by others, being accepted without passing. Judgment was not something he was accustomed to.
Yo, this is gonna be the biggest, right? He's like, yo, I'm so excited, that it made me question whether what was happening was right. Because I just wasn't so used, it felt so good that it couldn't be right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, nah.
Nah. In the end, 50 was worried not only about his safety in Los Angeles, but also thought the invitation was a sham, arranged by the popular MTV show Punk'd.
When he first got with you?
It was wild. It felt like...
How did it happen?
Remember that show that had Punk'd on MTV?
Yeah,
I thought they had cameras and it was going to come out and say, you've been
Where was
punked.
y'all at? What city was y'all at?
I was in California. You flew me to LA, right?
Within days, 50 had meetings with Eminem and Dr. Dre. It all happened so quickly after listening to and becoming a huge fan of Guess Who's Back to 50. Eminem started rapping the song's lyrics in the room. From then on, it was on. Get Rich or Die Trying was produced shortly after they started working together. The album wasn't the only thing that made 50 famous. It exploded. But even as his star grew, 50 didn't relax. He continued his regimen. The bulletproof vest remained intact. He kept acting as if he was expecting the worst. The mindset was not limited to the 1950s. People in his near surroundings, especially Eminem, were affected. Eminem and Jay-Z worked together on Moment of Clarity in 2003, which M ultimately produced. As Jay-Z later recounted, Jay claims that Slim Shady wore a bulletproof vest when he first arrived at the studio. In an interview with Interview magazine, Jay said, "I remember hugging him when he came to the studio, and I could feel that he was wearing a bulletproof vest. I never imagined that I would achieve such success. Rap is his passion, and he wanted to be successful all through his career. Then a dark fog descends upon him as he at last comprehends."
And that dark cloud Jay was talking about was problems from beef from certain people in the industry and out in the streets. And like 50, M was also making a lot of enemies back in the day, and one of them, Ja Rule, 50's longtime nemesis. Now, everyone knows how Ja and 50's been beefing for the longest, even before Eminem came into the picture. But M just stayed in the background and focused on the music. But all of that changed real fast when Ja Rule crossed the line and named Eminem's daughter Haley in a diss track titled Loose Change.
Your mouth, shut up. Damn, you claim your mother's a crackhead and Kim is a known slut. So what's Haley gonna be when she grows up? Murder! Y'all know what it is. Murder! Y'all know what it is.
And this is all it requires. M now has meat that dates back to the 1950s. In response, Eminem released a series of trash tracks titled Raimi Bully. The message was clear. If you bring up his child, it's war. The winner in the end was Eminem. His taunts had greater impact. He was still a star and Jay's career started to go apart, but in reality, this was nothing new to Eminem. He was used to inheriting people's arguments, even if he wasn't the one starting __. As was the case with Dr. Dre. When Eminem signed with Dre, he got more than just a capable coach. He bore Dre's load, too. One of the most important pieces of that baggage was Suge Knight.
In LA, during the whole East Coast, West Coast beef between New York and LA and between Death Row and Bad Boy, and M had inherited Dr. Dre's beef by signing with Dre. M was now the prodigy of Dr. Dre.
When Dre departed Death Row and started working with Aftermath to develop something new, Suge wasn't exactly watching from the sidelines. The idea of Dre prospering without him was something he hated. It was made worse by the fact that Dre had found a new golden boy who was the talk of the town.
Suge didn't like that. Dre getting back on, got this white rapper that's ended up being the best rapper in the Suge had a problem with it. He was like, you know what? That kid need to be with us over at Death Row.
Suge wants to be in charge, or at least have it. And that tension hung in the air at the 1999 Source Awards on Suge's behalf. Several Death Row staff approached Eminem directly and delivered a message. Nothing concrete occurred, but the message was clear.
M was walking to his seat, I'm standing up to the side, and M was cut off on his way to his seat, and all these guys in red shirts surrounded him. And I'm looking at M's face, and I'm looking at these guys, I'm like, something ain't right. So I started making my way around to come up the aisle, and next thing I know, you see all these guys talking about Death Row, Death Row, Death Row, Death Row. So by the time I cut in, I step in front of M, I push the guys back, I'm like, yo, what the f going on here, man? He said, Death Row? What's this Death Row about? This Death Row life. I was like, Death Row, what does it got to do with him?
A tone resurfaced in 2003, when the music video for 50 Cent's breakthrough single was recorded in a club. Suge appeared once more, this time physically, with a crew, and left his mark. It was more than just showing one's face. Clearly, he was there to deliver a message to Dre and Gunn.
I remember the time, actually, it's funny because he showed up in the club video. He came, it was like, Suge's outside, Suge's outside. Everybody like, he was running, dropping shit, like, man, everybody going, I'm in front of the camera like this.
However, before there was any real bloodshed, Eminem stood up for his people. He didn't let 50 or Dre deal with it. He intervened, confronted Suge's energy, and made it clear that he could not be intimidated or influenced. The Suge is a cigar that he prefers.
He just likes the cigar, and it's the Suge. He liked the cigar, and he's trying to see what you gonna do. So Eminem, 50, everybody outside, like the cigar. I was bugging because I seen, this is when I knew Eminem was real. He's like, I don't give a f, man. This is when I knew. I'm like, damn, Eminem is a real. These niggas 50's outside. What's up? And then Suge just walked away. The Mexicans looked kind of confused, like they didn't know what's going on. But came outside. Eminem came outside 100%.
Wow. Oh, what did I miss?
Even if 50 Cent and Eminem stop wearing the bulletproof vest, their relationship will still be strong. That became evident when Eminem appeared at the 2020 50's Hollywood Walk of Fame event as a lifetime buddy and co-worker.
So check it out. Of all the things that I don't remember about 2002, I have a very clear memory of the first time I met 50. And I think one of the things I noticed when he first walked into the room was his presence, right? Because it just kind of felt like he's gonna be a star. Like just the way he carried himself, swagger, everything. Like, I don't know. It just seemed like he was the whole package.
And further showed his dedication when the 2020 Super Bowl halftime concert was announced. It seems that Rock Nation, which has been in control of the NFL's live music entertainment, was against 50 performing on the show. Despite his legacy and his connections to Dr. Dre and Eminem, there was apparently resistance behind the scenes and efforts to keep 50 off the stage.
They say because Yayo said that Jay hated on you too, like he didn't want you to be part of it. Is that true though?
Yeah, but it's not a big deal. You know what it is?
What was the reasoning though? Like what would he tell Dre?
I think that's competing or being competitive, and the music is getting past music itself. With that, because I'm like, what are you trying to do?
Eminem, however, would not have it. As soon as he found out about the problem, he made it clear that he would not be performing unless 50 was included. He made no effort to negotiate or offer a sensitive suggestion. He stood up. Eminem's absence would have had a significant negative impact on the show's popularity, particularly since Dr. Dre, Mary J. Blige, Snoop Dogg, and Kendrick Lamar have already confirmed M's international reputation gave him the power to reclaim his friends.
The white guy called for 50 Cent. So I said, who's the white guy? I'm digging this Jimmy Iovine. And he said, no, Eminem called directly for 50. And he said,
that's his guy.
He said, I can't do it if I can't break 50 up.
But that's his guy.